When you go live, are you missing out on huge growth potential? I think you are. If you're not repurposing your live stream show every time you go live, you're leaving tons of potential audience members dismayed and aloof. That's why repurposing expert Hani Mourra of repurpose.io joins us live to discuss lesser known repurposing strategies to grow your Facebook Live audience. Stay tuned, folks. It's BeLive Weekly.
You're watching BeLive Weekly with Owen Video, where entrepreneurs give the latest tips, tricks, and tactics for Facebook live streaming. Join us live every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or type 5 into the comments now to subscribe to the show. Now your host, Owen Video.
Welcome back to BeLive Weekly, helping you to grow your Facebook Live show. I'm Owen Video, your live video growth coach, and you can join me every week when you give me 5. That's right. Just type 5 in the comments now if you're watching on Facebook. We're super excited that you're here today. I really love the topic for today's show. But before we get into that, I want to ask you something right now. Are you repurposing your Facebook Live content? Let me know and tell me what you're doing with it in the comment section, because repurposing, I'll tell you, for me has been it's a game changer. We repurposed our live show onto iTunes, and here's what that's done for me. First of all, I've grown an entirely new audience on iTunes, which is not necessarily my people's video people. I'm Owen Video, not Owen Audio, right? That's my cousin, and he stinks. But you know, I'm breaking into this podcaster audience. I'm bringing in new customers to my coursework from over on Spotify. So I think that's really neat. However, repurposing can be kind of confusing. So if you're not doing it, I'd love to know why you're not doing it. Is it confusing, overwhelming? Let me know in the comment section. I want to say hello to Renee Coakley, who subscribed to the show. Josh Coulter and Robert C. Stern are here today. Gracie Roos says, hey, good to see you, Gracie. The pleasure is mine. And my man, Jay Houselander. Folks, give it up for Jay. I can't tell you why. Let me just tell you something. Jay is going through something right now where I want the BeLive community, whether live or on the replay, to blow him up with some like bombs or some heart bombs. You see, I'm doing it right now too. I'm just going to blow Jay up with some, because we're a community. We got to stick together. Jay's a live streamer like us, and I want to see you guys blow him up with some hearts. Jessica Irene is saying, hey, Logan Spring, thank you for subscribing. Tessa Bryson Conley. Tessa, do you repurpose? I want to know. Tell me right now. Logan, what are you? It's first time I recognize your name here. Glad you're here. Tell me, what do you do? What's your live stream all about? Karinder Singh joining me for a second time today. Guys, I'm so glad you're here. So many things to talk about today. Maybe some of you saw that Social Media Examiner dropped sort of a bombshell this week when it comes to long form video on Facebook, and that affects us as live streamers. How many of you guys read that article? If you have questions about that article, we can come back to that later on in the show. And as usual, if you have questions about today's show, our guest, and how you can grow your Facebook Live show, then of course, ask your questions in the comment area. It would be my dream that this whole show is like your questions, and my job is simply to ask your questions to the experts that we bring on site. Dan Norton, great to see you logging in from New York. Logan is asking, how does a drop of 5 work when you repurpose? All right, so great question about repurposing. For example, when I'm live, I can say, hey, give me 5 in the comment section. And what happens is my chatbot will automatically pick up on that 5 and answer the call. So in repurposing, we simply would not include that section, right? We just wouldn't include that in the repurposed video. And doing that can be a little bit of a challenge if you don't structure your live stream videos properly. So keep that in mind. We're going to be answering all of your questions, and many of your questions will be repurposed into shorter, smaller clips on the BeLive channel. Tessa is saying, yes, I do, but I should do it more. Definitely. In terms of repurposing, I agree. Carrinder is saying, who is behind the scenes, Owen? Is that Jeff Adams? I would love it if Jeff Adams were behind the scenes. I love Jeff Adams, fellow BeLive host. But no, Jason, bring yourself on camera, please. My behind the scenes amazing Houdini master is my good friend, my protege, my right-hand wingman, Mr. Jason Jackson. Jason, are you there?
I am. Hello, Owen. How are you?
Hey, great to see you. Jason presses all the buttons and he produces this show for BeLive. Jason, take a moment, explain to everybody kind of how this situation works.
Well, I start off by putting the ROS together, the run of show, which is an amazing document. You should all be using it. Mm-hmm. My humble opinion. And then, I just get to sit back here and help the show, push the buttons, get everybody involved as much as possible.
And you do a great job. So this is the guy responding in the comments. Every time you see a graphic pop up, Jason made them. And we're stoked to have you here, Jason. And I'm stoked to be represented by such a fantastic company, BeLive. But before I talk about them, I want you guys to know, Jason mentioned my ROS template. If you want to get my ROS template, you can go to the link that's in the description box right now. I'm going to pin that comment and you can get my ROS template for running a more professional live stream show. And I hope you guys will check that out. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors over at BeLive.tv. That's right. You can try BeLive for free. Do you want to have the best looking Facebook live streams? You can get BeLive.tv for free when you go to the link that is in the description box right now. BeLive is the software that we're using right now. You can bring in guest interviews. You can show lower thirds on screen. You can pop up comments. You can pre-schedule your broadcast. So many cool things you can do with BeLive.tv. If you haven't tried it in a while, you've got to go to BeLive.tv, get your free trial, and join us on the BeLive platform today. And transition. How awkward is it when you try to play your transition and instead you play the crickets? You know, oops, that was sort of a thing. Gospel Imara is coming up. She says, hey, Jason, Tim Cochran, subscribe to the show. Great to see you guys here. And I'm really hoping to engage with you on the topic today of repurposing. Now, I wanted to know, are you guys repurposing your stuff right now or are you not? I would love to hear from you in the comment section. I got a great question from Logan. I'm copying that question down. As I said before, it would be my goal, folks, that this whole show is based on your questions because repurposing is massive. You guys should be doing that. And that's why we brought on our guest today. Hani Mourra is a dad. He's a softwarepreneur and the creator of repurpose.io. And I might call it Repurpose.io. I've heard a lot of you folks say that as well. Repurpose.io, repurpose.io. It's a software designed to help content creators like us automate the distribution of podcasts and live videos across multiple platforms to grow your audience everywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're stoked to have him here. Give it up for Hani Mourra. Hani, great to have you on the show.
Thank you. Woo. Awesome to be here, man. Love the energy.
Look, we bring this kind of energy nonstop because we love live streaming, probably as much as you love software development and being a dad. So please take a minute to explain to us a little bit about what you do and what led you here.
Absolutely. I love helping content creators get their content out. So how I got involved in this was really scratching my own itch. I was a blogger, video blogger. I always loved video. As a kid, I love making video. I'm the guy who spent hours putting videos together, family home videos. As I got a little older and realized, video has power, it's potential. If you got a business online, it's awesome, especially YouTube as a marketing platform. So anyway, back in, I think, 2009, it's like I was video blogging on YouTube and I was like putting my content on my blog. And I was like, man, what a pain. I got to put a video on YouTube and I got to make a blog post and embed the video. So I'm like, why don't I automate? I'm a software guy. Like, I love video. Let me just make a tool that will take every video off of YouTube and make a blog post. I'm like, oh, let me do that. And I did that, and I shared it with a few people. And they're like, holy crap, that's pretty good. That's a great idea. And that's how I got into it. I'm like, wow, people have the same problem as me as a content creator. It's annoying to do these monotonous tasks that are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we even have some comments coming in already that are like, Logan Spring is saying, this is why I don't repurpose, because the time to splice the content is not worth the ROI. And we're going to come and look at the ROI, but wouldn't you agree? Like that's a major problem is we get our content up, but then to get it to other places, there's like a whole bunch of loops that you have to jump through. What are some of those hoops that you have to jump through?
You gotta either go in, log into that platform, copy some embed code, or log in and download the video, which takes time and bandwidth. And you gotta take that video and upload it again, and put the title again, and put the description again. It's just repetitive work that it's not moving the wheels forward. Like you're burning rubber. You're just kind of spinning your wheels and not making progress. So I went from like solving my own itch with that WordPress plugin, and then I got involved with a business partner into podcasting. And because he was launching a podcast, I had no idea what a podcast was, but I was a video guy. I learned about podcasting, and then I made an automation tool that does it for podcasting, and then grew into live streaming. Facebook Live came out, and then now we're at a point where like Repurpose is this platform that doesn't only focus on your blog. Like repurposing content to your blog is awesome, and we'll talk more about that. But this takes content beyond that. It takes from one platform, like a Facebook, onto YouTube automatically. And the whole point being is you spend energy, like your energy when you create the content. If you got to go and have 1,000 million steps that you got to do after, it's like, man, I don't want to make the content in the first place because I know I have all this work I need to do after. So that's kind of how it was inspired me to kind of make Repurpose come to life.
Well, I think that I tell you, I can certainly relate to some of those issues, and I'm a big believer in repurposing. It's sort of built into our model. We do a Facebook Live show on my own channel on the Owen Video page, and if you guys aren't following me on Owen Video, I encourage you to do that as well. So we repurpose our live show into a podcast, and then we try to make it into little short clips and put it all over the place. And it's taken us a very long time to create a workflow for doing that. That is worth the ROI. And I've had some similar experiences as Logan in that it took a while. It took a while to get there. So let's really break it down for our audience, because this audience out here has got we're all live streamers, right? So let's talk about what real basic stuff. What does repurposing mean, right? So that we can kind of clarify any misconceptions. What does it mean to repurpose your content?
Repurpose simply means taking a piece of content you've already created, whether it's a live stream or an uploaded video or audio, it doesn't matter. Let's take live stream, for example, taking that piece of content and putting it on other channels so that newer audiences can discover. And when I say other channels, it could be something like a YouTube. It could be something like your own blog, or it can be something like an audio podcast. So those are kind of three different examples, but you're not recreating the content. You've already put your heart and soul and your energy into creating it once, but you're putting it and making it available on other platforms.
Yeah. Okay. So that's huge. In fact, I think you win a Belding for that one, because repurposing is not necessarily one thing or the other, right? It may not be. You might have a 35-minute live show. This live show is 45 minutes to an hour. You might take that whole thing and make it into a podcast, or you might take snippets of it, and there's different ways to do that. So repurposing doesn't specifically mean one thing or the other. It's really just about getting onto other platforms to increase your audience base. Is that true, Hani Mourra?
Yes, that's true. Okay. It's just, you got it. I was going to say, you're going to just take this content and you're making it available to where people hang out. People love to consume audio. You're putting it where they like to listen to audio, on iTunes or Spotify. People like videos. You want to put it on YouTube so they can consume it. So you're just putting it in front of people where they normally hang out.
Okay, so is it okay then if we could just dig into a conversation about repurposing, folks? I'm going to try to ask the questions I think that you're asking, but I would love to hear from you in the comment section with your questions on repurposing and how to make it work, right? How to make it work for your company. So is it okay to take a piece of video content and repurpose it as audio and vice versa, taking audio, turning it into some type of video?
I think yes, but there's a little caveat here. You gotta know that this content is being repurposed. So if you're doing a video, just keep that in mind that this particular live stream is going to be audio. So you don't want to do a live screencast and walk through a how-to step by step, because no one's going to follow that in audio format. So when you design your content, you're intentional about this episode is going to be an audio. Keep that in mind in how you present. So don't make it visual, kind of talk through the example. So there's someone listening, someone's going to listen to it down the road. They can still get value from it.
Yeah. Now, so that brings up a whole nother question on structuring your show, right? And we talked a little bit about our ROS template. We have a pretty organized, pretty structured show. And we suggest that you guys structure your shows too. If you want to see how we structure, click the link that's pinned to this video, get my ROS template and check out how we do it. But Hani, do we need to go into a show and plan our repurposing strategy before we even go live?
In my opinion, if you can do that, yes. Like plan it so that this particular show is going to be an audio podcast. So plan ahead of time, because you don't want to take every single live stream and turn it into an audio. It doesn't make sense. You're going to have a lot of clutter. If you're intentional about it, this episode, we're talking about this, and I know this is going as an audio podcast. You kind of design the content in a way that it's consumable in both audio and video. But if you're going from one video platform to another, for example, live stream, you want to put that onto YouTube, hey, you can take every single live stream and put it on YouTube. There's no reason why you wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Okay. So that's really fantastic, and I want to talk more about the live or the so like the repurposing strategy. Like what are some of the steps? And for those of you just joining us, we're talking with Hani Mourra. He's the founder of repurpose.io, and this is a software that does the repurposing for you. And we're going to show you guys a little bit about how that works. But I really want to talk about the strategy, because we could repurpose 1,000 different ways. You could hire an intern for free, right? And get it done. But are you doing the right things? So, our audience is Facebook Live viewers. Walk us through sort of how you would repurpose a Facebook Live show to increase audience and bring more people back to the show.
Absolutely. So for me, 3 key places you want to be. You want to take your Facebook Live. You want to be on YouTube. There's no reason why you shouldn't put every single Facebook Live onto YouTube. I would organize it. If you have different shows on Facebook Live, you organize it using the playlist feature of YouTube. Keep your content organized, consumable. Also take advantage of keywords on YouTube so you get that extra search, because Facebook is not a search engine. YouTube is a powerful search engine. So you definitely want to have that. It gives it more life after the live, right? Facebook loves it when you go live, but what happens 3 days later, 4 days later? You're kind of like, the stream is gone. There's a ton of new content coming in. It's very hard to search for content on Facebook, but having it on YouTube just extends the life of that content.
Yeah.
Next thing I recommend highly is your website. Like people kind of forget about that. Like your website is a platform. It's yours. You own it. You can't collect email addresses on YouTube and Facebook, but you can on your website. So you want to put that content on your website. We're not talking taking the video and uploading it. You don't want to crash your website, right? We're talking about embedding the Facebook video or the YouTube version onto a blog post. So there's no reason why you don't want to do that. And you definitely want to put in some kind of email opt-in, right? Because the whole point of having this beautiful platform called a website is that it's yours. You own it, and you have the ability to interact in a two-way conversation with customers once they get on your email list.
Yeah.
And the last one is, we talked about it as well, is the audio. Again, you wouldn't take every episode. I wouldn't take every episode and make it into an audio, but I would take a couple episodes, turn them into audios, or you can even go a step further. You can say, what? I have a great piece of content, but like you said, I'm going to make a short show, like maybe a 5-minute snippet from my Facebook Live, and turn that clip into an audio. So you can be selected by either planning ahead of time or digging through your archives and pulling out, good 5-minute chunks of good content that you can use. But my tip here is don't take just the audio. Be a little creative. Make it feel like a podcast episode. So take the audio, have some kind of intro, either you record it or like a canned intro and outro. put that on, make it feel like someone is actually consuming an audio podcast, because audio podcasts typically have some kind of intro and some kind of outro. You don't have to get too fancy with it, but make it feel like it's a little more produced than you just ripping out the audio and uploading it to your podcast host. So just to kind of recap: YouTube, blog, audio. Those are my three
YouTube,
favorites.
blog, and audio. How many of you guys watching us right now have a YouTube channel? Josh Coulter, I want to hear from you because I know you're watching out there. And I know that you're doing well on YouTube. How many of you guys have a YouTube channel that you actually use and you upload occasionally to it, even if you're not building actively? Let me hear from you in the comment section. I'd also love to know maybe what are some of your confusions about YouTube, and we can approach some of that, because Hani, you made a great point about Facebook Live, right? When Facebook Live is live, you're going to get exposure while you're live, right? A couple minutes later, a couple days later, you're going to find that the interest in that video has decreased, but hopefully your page got what it needed out of that live, which is engagement and activity, mentions and shares, and that sort of thing. In fact, if you're watching this show right now and you love to live stream, share this video on your timeline right now. Let your friends know you're watching with us and invite them into the show with us today. Josh is saying, yes, I have a channel and I do post videos to my website, but he says I'm a bit behind. I agree, and staying on top is a great point. I want to get to that in just 1 second. When your live is good when you're live. When you're not live, you need to have that topic somewhere where it can be searched. And the best thing to do is put it on YouTube and then create a blog, and you've embedded the YouTube video into your blog, right? It's a simple-ish, right? There's some steps to that, but it's definitely something you got to master. Sarah is saying, I have one, but I don't really use it. Sarah, how come you don't use your YouTube channel? I'd love to know. And YouTube's changed a lot during the years. So let's talk a little bit about this like repurposing process. Do you have like a schedule, Hani, where it's like, okay, every Facebook Live, I do this with it. I do this first. I make it audio, then I make it a short video, then I do this other thing. Or do you just sort of like, hey, today's episode was good. Here's a few points I want to see repurposed. How do you go about it? How do you recommend that we approach our repurposing strategy?
Yeah, I recommend, if you have the luxury now, plan it ahead of time. So knowing that your future content is going to be audio. But to me, it's going to vary person by person. But my recommendation is to you want to have a consistent show. So you have a live stream show like you're doing it every time at noon Pacific time. You're just consistent. That's a perfect candidate for an audio podcast, because just like live streams, audio podcasts are perfect candidates for consistency. People get trained. People love it when they go for their walks or their drives. They know I can hear my favorite episode. I get hooked. I tweet podcasted, hey dude, it's Tuesday, where's the episode? Like when it was late for one day, it happened. Like, you get really hooked, right? So be consistent with your Facebook Lives. Those kind of videos are perfect. But then there's also some little videos that you do, Instagram stories, or those like small snippets of like smaller micro content. Those are great. And they don't make sense as audio podcasts. They may not even make sense as blog posts because they're short little videos, but you can put them onto Facebook. You can put them on both as Instagram stories and Facebook stories. Those are the kind of content that gives you a chance to kind of have fun with it, be more relaxed, less formal, but definitely not candidates for a audio podcast. So if you're planning ahead, plan your weekly or consistent show as your audio podcast.
Now, what about like off the cuff content? Let's say you go, like this morning, I went live on my Facebook profile. I did some content on being a dad, which is something that's very important to me. Not something that like I'm going to send to my email list or anything, but certainly like it's a one-off video that I'm like, oh, you know what? I could chop that up, make it a square video with the title above, title below, and maybe submit it to the dad blogs. Is there time to take one-off content and repurpose that too? Should you even go live in a one-off manner just so you can repurpose that audio or that video into another platform? What are your thoughts, Hani Mourra?
Yeah, if you're comfortable going live, it's the best way to create content because you don't have to worry about editing software and all that stuff. So if you have an idea, you're inspired, hey, I'm just going to go live, get this content out to the world. So you get it exposed, like you said, on your Facebook profile. And then you can repurpose that. You can, download that video, put it in your archives, in your Google Drive, Dropbox, your computer, save that piece of content. And you can use it. You can use it as an audio snippet. You can use it in many different ways. My only tip is, my personal preference is to kind of keep it on topic. Like if I'm like the repurpose guy or the content guy or whatever, if I'm talking about something that's not necessarily related, I wouldn't put it on my YouTube channel. And if I did, I would put it maybe in a separate playlist so that my audience who are used to me talking about content, video, podcasting, they're not confused by why am I talking about personal training all of a sudden because I worked out with my brother or something. So keep that topic consistent. So it's going to vary depending on what kind of content your audience is used to.
Okay, yeah, great points there. Because I'm not going to share the dad content with my business audience. If you guys want to check that out, you can friend me on my personal profile. It's going to be hard to get through because unless we have like 20 or more friends in commons, I try to not overwhelm myself. But if you do reach out to me and say, hey, you're from BeLive Weekly or whatever, and you want to follow my content there, I don't do it to my business audience, but I'm thinking, okay, let me just get this content out. I can repurpose it later and then maybe send it to a vlog here. I could send it to a Twitter account here and then, build my my reputation there. And maybe that's something you guys can do for your business or for pleasure. In fact, I'd love to know, what are you making content about right now? Is it business related? Is it hobby related? Tell me, is it comic book related? Is it food related? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section. Obaid Akram says, I just started going live every week or doing every week. Awesome. Love that you're out there. Franco's here. Stephen Healy's here. My good friend Kevin Davis, the man, the myth, and the legend. So, Hani, we're talking about repurposing your content. There's lots of different ways to do it. I want to approach directly the ROI, and then I want to show everyone sort of how you're solving this repurposing dilemma. What about the ROI? Logan Spring says, we stopped repurposing because taking the time to splice the content and make it its own self-sustaining package is not worth the ROI. What's your response to something like that?
Yeah, that's a great point. There's a lot of manual effort involved. If you're doing a lot of editing after the fact, you got to ask yourself, is that really worth it? And second of all, do I really need to edit and slice and dice? Like I mentioned earlier, if you're putting content on YouTube and the content you've done live and it's not perfect, there's glitches, does it really matter? Is the content still valuable enough so somebody can consume it on YouTube? So I say either minimize the effort, meaning don't edit too much or don't edit at all, depending how bad or like how you feel the content didn't come out exactly as planned. That's okay. Get the content out on different platforms. Don't spend too much time editing because that's kind of the beauty of going live, is that it's live. Right? it's people know that, right?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And Sarah Coleman Surratt is asking, what are your thoughts on repurposing / uploading your Facebook Live to your YouTube without editing? And taking out all the hi there's, hi guys, welcome to the show, and these types of things. Love to get your thoughts, Hani, on editing. But I want to say this, because Franco is saying some great stuff in the comment section too. He says, better question, is your brand worth the ROI? And I think that's super important. Is your content worth it? Now, Sarah, my thoughts to you are, first, structure your show. Structure your show in such a way, sort of introducing the topic, saying all your hello there's, and then you're going into the main content piece. So you are doing some editing, but it's one snip and two snip, right? It's cut out the beginning, cut out the end. So there are no hi there's in there. You guys will notice when I do my rants on the Business of Video podcast, I'm not talking to anybody because we know we're going to repurpose that. So we want that to be like a crisp 1 minute rant. Hani, what are your thoughts on that, on repurposing Facebook Lives without editing, and you've got all that live verbiage in there? Is that a bad thing, a good thing? What do you think?
Again, it's kind of personal preference. To me, it's not a bad thing. They know you're live. They can see you doing a live show. You're not doing it live on YouTube, obviously, but they can tell it's a live recording.
Right.
But I like what you said, though. If you have the ability and you do plan your show, then do your highs and hellos in the beginning, highs and hellos at the end, and kind of cut that content out, until you have very, very minimal editing. And I like that idea. And then you can even take it a step further and add like a little intro in the beginning.
Yes.
So that gives it a different like little bumper video or whatever you want to call it. It gives a different brand, different feel on YouTube versus on Facebook. Again, those are more advanced. If you're just getting started, just get it out there. Just put it out there first and then get better. Like this, I tell people, get better. Don't wait to be good when you start. Start terrible by just take it as is. Throw it out there. Next time you have a little more time, maybe have a little more money, maybe you can hire somebody and you could invest in more tools to automate it. But just get it out there. If you have nothing, it doesn't cost you that much or a lot of time. Just get it out there and then improve as you go.
I think that's just about the best thing I've ever heard and the audience is just going nuts. Here's the thing about what you just said is get the content out there, guys. I go with this with my clients all the time because my clients are multi-million-dollar companies, a lot of solopreneurs, small businesses and CEOs, right? And they want to know the answers to these questions. It's like, look, your YouTube videos will get better if you just go live more often, right? So you go live more often on Facebook to practice the content, repurpose what you can, but you can make the video again for YouTube if you're that inclined to do it. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You're doubling your workload. But what I would suggest, take a look at what I can do here, guys. I can already do my intros, right? I can do something like, okay, guys, in 1 minute or less, I'm going to share with you how you can make a better video for YouTube, and that's coming up right now.
You're listening to the Business of Video podcast.
All right, guys, I'm Owen Video, and I'm here to work with you today, and and I do my content, and it's there. But I can actually, and then I do that content, and I just go live, end live, and then I repurpose that. And it can be audio, it can be video. I need no editing. The sound effects are right here. This is the beauty of live video. So I'm glad to know you guys are here. I want to go to some audience questions. Then I want to show you guys a really amazing process for getting your live streams, your Facebook lives repurposed, because it can be a hassle downloading, re-uploading, and these different kinds of things. Josh Coulter is saying people are forgiving of goofs on live streams. Would you agree, Hani Mourra?
Oh man, they know it's live. It's real. People love reality TV, right? We all watch reality TV because we like the realness of it. So it's forgiving for sure. Just be yourself and don't worry. People know. People expect mistakes. If you're too perfect, it's like, wait a second. Is this really live? Was this like something's up here? What's going on?
Yeah, folks. People like the reality and own the mistakes. We work with a lot of brands and they just don't want to make any mistakes. And we're like, look, mistakes are going to come. Let's just own them, make them part of the show. When something funny on your show happens, you could always do, you know what I mean? You can always play with it and make it, whenever I miss a joke, for example, we play with it. We make it fun. Now, Sarah B. Stroud is saying, I use another live stream platform. She's not using BeLive. And the download and upload time is consuming, but I'm missing out. I want to start expanding. I want to interview others on video and not sure how to do how you're doing this, 2 people showing live. I like this format. How do you do it? Well, we're using BeLive.tv, Sarah. We're using BeLive.tv, and you can go to BeLive.tv right now and start a free trial. And you can have all of these features. We have our logo up here. We have our lower thirds down here. We can pop comments up on the screen. And all that's available for one amazingly low price. Obaid is saying, I cut up the best parts of my video and put it on Instagram and LinkedIn and Snapchat. Hani, are you repurposing much to LinkedIn? Do you see much of that?
I'm not yet, and I'm looking more into it. It depends on your audience, right? If your audience is there, I'm looking into that platform for sure now. Video is definitely an option. I'm looking to automate some things there. But more and more, I'm playing with Instagram stories now, and I've been like avoiding it for so long. But my brother's a personal trainer, and he's like, I don't want to say crushing. He's doing really well, right? I'm like, man, what are you doing? Tell me, teach me more, right? And the best way to learn is to do it. I just tinkered and I clicked buttons and I did some goof ups and I just started. I'm like, wait a second, now I'm getting the hang of this. I went for a walk today. I did a story. It's
great.
And Instagram and Facebook are linked. So you can like cross upload. You do a Facebook story, you can have it go to your Instagram. Sorry, do an Instagram story, you can have it go to your Facebook story. So that's another form of repurposing without doing any extra work. Facebook does the work for you.
That's right.
Take advantage of those.
That's right. Just great. Oh, Baid is saying, just do it. I think he's right. Molly Mahoney is saying, love you both.
Molly.
Molly, always love hearing from Molly. So tell us then, Hani, you've solved this problem of repurpose. You've solved the problem of having to go into Facebook, download the video, open up Camtasia, edit the video, export the video. That's what takes the longest. Is you got to make a snip. Like you make one snip, you have to you have to export the whole thing still, and that takes a ton of time. So, Hani, how does your solution work? Molly is saying it's magic. Is she right, or is she way off base? Let us know, Hani Mourra.
She is, just a little side note, was customer number 3 of Repurpose. She was one of the founding members, and she she was just like, this is the best thing ever. So she loves it. She loves it. But the idea here is Repurpose basically takes the content from Facebook. So it saves you the download. So it downloads it for you. And then it can add an intro and outro for you. So you can upload your bumper videos to Repurpose. It will attach it. So there's no video editing, rendering. It'll attach those intros and outros for you if you want them to. And you can send them to YouTube. All this without you even needing to log into the software. So once you set it up, the setup is basically authorizing Repurpose to access your Facebook and your YouTube. And once you do that, you make these rules that say, every time I go live on this page, I want you to take it, add this intro, outro, optional, and send that off to YouTube to this particular playlist and using these keywords. So it takes care of a lot of the steps. Besides the uploading and downloading, it takes care of these steps of adding keywords, putting the title, the description. It's all handled automatically. And that's just touching the surface on how Repurpose works, and just kind of one of the things that Repurpose can do if you're a live streamer.
So let's get that up on the screen right now. Jason's got it up on the screen, and if you can make that video full image there, Jason. Let's kind of like watch this video. I don't think we'll have audio, but maybe Hani, you can sort of walk us through how this works in this video. What it's showing you, this is how you can automatically take your Facebook Live and automatically upload it to YouTube without you having to download or edit anything. So talk to us about what we're seeing here.
Yeah, so we're making what's called a workflow. So you give it a name. Workflow is just a rule. So the first step is to decide what the input is. So you can do a Facebook Live or regular Facebook video. And you can choose personal profile, group, or page. So this is which video you're taking, which content you're taking. So in this example, I'm showing how to take it from a Facebook group. So I can take a video, live video from Facebook group. Next step is going to ask me, what's my action? I can either upload that video, convert video to an audio, or upload that video. So in this demo showing, it's going to take that video as it is and do an upload. And where do I want to send it? I want to send it to my YouTube account, and I can choose which playlist that I want, or make my own playlist. I can just create a brand new playlist right here without leaving Repurpose.
Now this workflow is called a repurpose.
This is called a Repurpose workflow, and you can make as many of these as you want.
That's my question.
So yeah, as many as you want. So in this video, it's just showing all the different, all your episodes. So it shows every single video you've gone live in the group, and you can click publish, and it will publish a video just like that. In a few minutes, it's published.
Amazing.
And I'm not sure if this video shows it or not, but you basically, if once you're happy, you tested it gone to YouTube and it works well, you can go back. I think it's going to show it in a second. You can go back and turn on a button called auto, which means, heck, I don't even need to log in to Repurpose anymore. It just knows every time I go live on this group, I want you to do it on YouTube. I think it's going to show that right now in this video. So that magic button here, there's a bunch of settings that you can go tweak. One of the coolest things people ask me is, hey, I don't want to take every single video in my group. I only want certain ones, but I still want the automation. So we introduced this hashtag idea. So you can say, you know what, if I see a hashtag, Monday Madness Show or whatever hashtag you want, only publish those videos with a certain hashtag, so that you don't have to publish every single video.
So where do you put that hashtag? You put that in the title or in the description?
Either or. You do it on Facebook, either in the title or description. Repurpose will not do anything until it sees that hashtag, and then it will boom, do whatever you want it to do. Upload it to YouTube, convert to audio, etc.
But what if you go live and you're like, I'm not going to use this, but then you end up spitting some gold and you're like, oh, I do want to. So can you go add the hashtag back and then it will ping repurpose?
You got it. So you can take your time. People go live, right? And they don't edit the whole description, and they don't, they go live and then they go back and edit the title description. So you can edit it at any point and then put that hashtag in there, clean up the title description, and then say go. Sorry, then save that description on Facebook, and then within an hour or so, repurpose kicks in and we'll do the repurposing for you.
How long does it take a 25-minute live stream video to repurpose onto YouTube?
It's going to vary depending on how busy our system is. And basically we give priority to the newer videos. So that's the new. If you're trying to publish a video from like 2 years ago, it might take a little bit of time until things slow down. But I want to say like, probably 25-minute video, probably close to an hour, maybe less. Okay. But the beauty is you don't need to do anything. You just set it. It's in our queue, and you just shut the computer down, go have a coffee, walk away, do whatever you want, and it just gets processed automatically. So really incredible stuff here, especially the workflow. Obaid is saying, can you put the link for the software in the comments? It's the link is there now. Go to repurpose.io. I've pinned the comment, and you can get started for free. You get a free trial account. How does that work, Hani? Yeah, you get a free trial. You can publish 4 episodes. It could be of any kind you want. You can go audio to video. You can go video to audio, video to YouTube. We have a bunch of different channels. We can go directly from Facebook Live right to an audio podcast with intro and outro. And we support the Libsyn platform and SoundCloud. Those are the 2 we can connect. So if you're hosting your podcast on Libsyn, you can literally go live here. This can be an audio podcast with an intro live on your podcast feed, which means live on iTunes, Spotify, etc. So you can take it to that full level of automation, and we're adding more and more hosting platforms.
Folks, I'm gonna tell you right now, the pricing, at least that I see, is $20 a month for content creator level. That's like the higher level plan.
That's the higher level plan. Yeah.
You guys didn't hear that again. I said it's $20. So I'm thinking put $100 into this and use it for 5 months, right? $100. And you talk about your ROI. The reason that repurposing doesn't make sense for a lot of us is because of the time investment or the cost investment, right? If we're going to do that with our editors or whatever the case might be. So I want you guys to check. I don't want to turn this into like a sale thing for repurpose, but I got to tell you guys, for those of you that are live streaming, this is something that you have to look at. You can start with a free trial, and I would recommend that you do that. So how about nitty gritty? Okay, so what does repurpose do with this? So I give it my Facebook Live, and it will repurpose the whole Facebook Live, or can I pick snippets out?
Right now, from my Facebook Live perspective, it's the whole episode.
Okay,
that's something we're looking at to add the trimming feature.
Yeah,
but it's not quite ready yet.
Okay,
but so right now it's the full episode with the option to add a bumper video, intro, or a bumper outro, or both, which is kind of cool. So when it goes to YouTube, it looks a little different. It's got your bumper in the beginning and end.
Is that a video bumper, or is that just an audio, like, hey, welcome to the show type of thing?
No, video bumper. And the cool thing is so if you make a video bumper, and it's the same video bumper that you're going to put on every single video from your live stream. And so it's on YouTube. You start the video, is like, whatever, welcome to the Hani Mourra show, blah, 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 blah. And then it's one seamless video with an intro, content, and outro, or just intro or just outro. Totally up to you. You can customize that.
Really cool. So I would make the video bumper and upload it to my account at Repurpose.
You got it. You upload it once. You set up there's a lot of settings, so you can pre-configure all your keywords for a particular workflow, so that when they go to YouTube, you don't have to be typing in the keywords every single time. You can kind of save all that, call to action. All that can be all cute, set up in your workflow, and then boom, every video will have the same call to action. We'll have the the intro bumper, all that automatically added. And of course, if you want to customize each one, you can do that by clicking the publish button manually.
So you just kind of hit on a couple things there. You mentioned that I can add my YouTube title, description, and tags all from repurpose. So that I'm it's kind of like a set it and forget it type of scenario.
Yeah. So every episode, we take the title, the description from your Facebook feed. So sorry, from your Facebook video. So if you take the time, you clean up the title, the description on Facebook, we pull that in and use that. Now you have the option when you hit publish, it comes up, you can customize that even further. So you can tweak, add more keywords, less keywords. You can clean that up in the last second within repurpose before it goes out to YouTube. Yeah. But if you don't care, you want it just as is from Facebook, you can do full automation, turn on the auto switch and let it just do its thing.
And you can even set a link so that when you type in your link, your free offer link, your lead magnet link, you can type that in repurpose, and then when it goes to YouTube, that link will appear in the description box, correct?
Exactly. The first 2 lines where it's visible without having to click show more, clickable link right on YouTube every time. You don't have to worry about it, think about it, remember to put it in. It's always there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, Jason is asking, can you set multiple bumpers, or is it one bumper per account? How does that work?
It's a great question. You can do one bumper per workflow. So I can say, I can have 100 workflows. Each one can be 100 different bumpers. So I can have one workflow go to one YouTube channel, and another workflow go to a different YouTube channel, and they can have separate bumpers.
Yeah. Now, can I upload video? Like, what if I uploaded my own video? It's an MP4 that I did it 2 years ago, and I want to repurpose that. Can I upload that and repurpose it?
Today, no. In 2 weeks, you can set up a Dropbox. So you can have everything in Dropbox. So every time you can tell repurpose, hey, every time you see a new video in Dropbox, I want you to take it and do this with it. Send it to YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Convert it to an audio. And you can do the same thing with audios. So you can take hey, do you find new audio in this folder? Work your magic. So we've got a really cool feature that I know it doesn't affect a lot of people here, but it can take audios and turn them into videos.
Okay, so talk about that. That's kind of like next week.
Yeah, so you can take, if you have an audio podcast already and you want to get it onto YouTube as a video, you got to get it onto Facebook as a video, you can take it and repurpose. We'll make a video with a nice animated waveform, like some dynamics to it, and automatically publish that to YouTube, onto Facebook as a video. And we're adding also a snippet feature for the audio, so that you can snip the audio down to 2-minute clips with some nice visuals, and that can go to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. And it's exciting. It's really exciting.
Now, do I need to program that background video, like the background image that the waveform kind of goes on top of?
Yeah, it's beautiful. You can pick a template from us, or you can upload your own. We give you the full specs. You can brand it the way you want it, and then every video is different. So it's not like a static image. You don't have to upload an image every video. We put the title in for you onto the video. And if you have any guests on your show and you have an image of that guest, there's a slot for that. So it's dynamic. It pulls in that from your podcast feed. So it's really, really cool. It's really slick. And it's good for audio creators to get their content onto video channels, just because some people don't know what iTunes or Spotify is, or don't know how to consume audio content. But by having it on video platforms, it just gets you more exposure.
Amazing. Folks, go to repurpose.io. Try the software out. Really is, you guys know me. I'm not big into doing infomercials on this show, but this is a product, this is a service every Facebook live streamer needs to be looking at. At least go do the free trial and see how it works for you. We repurpose everything. And we get people coming in from Spotify. We get people coming in from Stitcher and iTunes. I have comments on my iTunes, people I don't even know, which is unfortunate. I'd love to know them. But they just listen on iTunes and they don't participate in the comments. So there's audience out there for your content. And if you're only thinking Facebook Live, I'm going to I'm going to mention the Social Media Examiner study, right? Your Facebook Live is a great tool for engagement and triggering the algorithm. But most people are watching your show in just a few minutes at a time. So when you repurpose, it's so helpful to have that content on other networks. So you've got a few people on Facebook that are really becoming super fans. You got people on YouTube that are really becoming super fans, and iTunes and Stitcher. It's a long tail model. And I mean, really at some of these things cost like $10 a month. So it's a very, very low barrier to entry. You put $50 in for 5 months, you get plenty of time to really get results with it. So Hani, I hope that you'll come back on the show and share even more great statistics with us and strategies with us in the future.
I would love to. I'm so excited about the software. So excited about it's like a mindset. Like you're freeing your mind of any extra work. That's the whole idea. Whether you outsource it or you get a software tool, it doesn't matter. It's just knowing that you just have to focus on creating the content and the rest is taken care of, or someone's taking care of it. You have a system in place. That's gold. It really is. It motivates you to create more content, and that's the value of it.
Yeah, and we're getting great comments. Jason Jackson is saying the bumper thing is just great. Grace is saying, can I use this for Facebook? You guys just solved a big problem for me. Yes, you can, Grace. And great that you're realizing that this is such a huge tool. Hani, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you in the lobby just for a second, but I want to chat with you as soon as the show's over. Folks, we got a couple of questions coming in today, but first we want to give it up for our guest, Hani Mourra of repurpose.io. Thanks for coming on today, Hani.
Thank you, guys. My pleasure.
So we love having guests that are going to come on the show. They're going to help you guys grow your Facebook Live. So Logan Spring asked originally, this is why I don't repurpose, because it's not worth the ROI. I think that we've solved that problem now. With this low cost, it actually makes a lot of sense to get it done. Logan also is asking about our transitions. Are the transitions here, are those part of the Pro or the standard BeLive package? Actually, those aren't part of BeLive. I'm using a soundboard with my Mac. It's a free program called Black Cat Systems, and you can learn more about that in my webinar called Get Started Live. If you go to getstartedlive.com, you can check out how I do that. Carender is asking about the price on Repurpose.io. It is on the website. You can check it out. Natsime Beltran is saying, we are getting great results on YouTube as opposed to Facebook lately, so I can understand where Social Media Examiner was coming from on canceling their 3 shows. Folks, Facebook is not a place for long-form content unless it's live. So you have got to be creating live stream shows that get tons of engagement and really trigger the algorithm. You want people to leave comments. You want them to like. You want them to share. So you've got to build that type of media into your presentation. For example, take a listen to this audio file that we made for this show.
Welcome to the Share-a-Fire, where we share the stage with a member of our audience who shared the show on Facebook. Want to feature your business on our show? Then share this video on your Facebook timeline now.
Right, so this was a segment called the Share-a-Fire, and what we did for the Share-a-Fire was, if you share the show, then we'll promote your business on Facebook. And what that did is it triggered our audience to share the show so that next week they would get a commercial inside the BeLive weekly show. It did tremendous for us. It did tremendous for a while. We pulled back when we stopped getting results, and we kind of come back to it from time to time. That is how you build engagement into your live stream show so that you're getting 100, 200 comments in the first 25 minutes of your live. It is possible. We've done it a ton of times, and you can do it too. So when you're doing a live stream show on Facebook, know that you've got 2 big objectives. Number 1 is to create a ton of engagement, to get a lot of newsfeed exposure. The more people engage, the more out into the newsfeed it goes. But then also to repurpose that live stream show so you can get great content out and put it on YouTube, on iTunes, on Alexa, if that matters to you. In fact, I started this rant at 12:54. It's now 12:56, but I started this rant specifically so that I could repurpose it. And I'm going to write that down in my notes right here. You can see I've been taking notes all day on what segments of the show I should be repurposing. So that's a quick lesson in action from Owen Video. Right, and that's where we'll cut the repurpose, right? You see, isn't it perfect? We got another question coming in. John Anthony says, how do I live stream with a camcorder? Easy, you got to get a cam link. Go to Amazon, get a cam link for $100. You can plug that into your computer, and then what you can do is plug your camera into the cam link and it will function as your webcam. Folks, great to see you again for another Monday. It's BeLive Weekly. I hope that you'll share this show on your timeline right now and join us again next week. See you next time.
Thank you for watching BeLive Weekly with Owen Video. If you enjoyed the show, then share this video on your timeline right now.
Just do it!
To see past episodes or get alerts for new episodes, type 5 in the comment section now. And join us next week with new tips to help you grow your Facebook Live show.